Hello, the Pioneer viewers. There are developments that could radically change the course of the war. In recent days, there has been unexpected activity on the front lines, and this could be a harbinger of a serious crisis for Moscow. Since the beginning of the war, Russia has relied on various sources to sustain its military operations in Ukraine. However, recent reports suggest that one of these sources of support has suffered a serious shakeup, which could upset Russia's plans on the front line. So, what's going on behind the scenes of this event that has the potential to change the balance on the battlefield? How will this development, which upset Russia's calculations, affect the balance of power at the front? Significant changes are taking place on the front lines that are drawing attention and causing rethinking of military strategies. For days, various intelligence reports have revealed that military support from North Korea was playing a decisive role on the battlefield. Now, however, a major change that could affect the fate of the war seems to have been finalized. Foreign military support, on which Russia had pinned great hopes, has unexpectedly begun to withdraw from the front line. What threat does this pose to Russia's military power? And for Ukraine, could it open up new opportunities on the ground? Since the early days of the war, Russia has resorted to various methods to fill the manpower gap at the front. Extraordinary measures such as large-scale mobilizations, the use of mercenaries, and even the recruitment of prisoners from prisons were put in place to overcome this problem. However, some of these developments have not yielded the expected results, and Moscow may be facing a new wave of crisis. According to recent intelligence reports, the Russian military presence in certain regions has begun to decline, and the reasons behind this are not entirely clear. In particular, it was known that Russia has recently received ammunition and troop reinforcements from North Korea to support its military operations in Ukraine. However, this support started to withdraw without making a big difference in Russia's favor on the ground. So, what's the latest situation? Let's take a look together. Before we get to our report, though, a quick reminder: the Pioneer team is definitely real. None of my team members or me are artificial intelligence. Even though AI is very advanced, it's still not as good as us. By the way, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss our daily reports and explanations. We do read all the comments you leave on our videos, so please continue to share your ideas about our content. Tell us in the comments what content you'd like to see on the Pioneer channel. And now let us begin if you're ready. The Pioneer reports. There has been a remarkable development in Russia's war against Ukraine. According to Ukrainian military intelligence, North Korean troops have withdrawn from a section of the front line in the Kursk region of Russia. This development has raised important questions about how it will affect the overall course of the war and Moscow-Pyongyang military cooperation. Why did Kim Jong-un's troops withdraw, and how could this change the dynamics of the war between Ukraine and Russia? North Korea not only supplies Russia with troops, but also with large quantities of ammunition and conventional weapons. According to US, South Korean, and Ukrainian intelligence reports, in October 2024, Pyongyang sent around 10,000 to 12,000 troops to Moscow. These troops actively fought in the ranks of the Russian army on certain fronts of the war and took part in various operations against Ukrainian troops. However, according to the latest information, some of these troops have been withdrawn from the Kursk front. According to intelligence from the Ukrainian Special Operations Forces, the North Korean troops decided to withdraw after suffering heavy losses. Ukrainian Special Forces Commander Plus said that there could be several reasons behind the withdrawal. These include the possibility of learning lessons from previous battles. evacuating wounded soldiers, waiting for new troops to arrive, or making a strategic change on the front. The withdrawal of North Korean troops from the Kursk front could be an important indication that the Russian army is losing ground in this region. At the same time as Moscow is seriously suffering military losses against Ukraine, it's being forced to develop new strategies. The retreat in Kursk further highlights Russia's dependence on its allies on the battlefield. Russia will need to deploy new troops in the coming period to compensate for its losses and maintain its balance on the front line. However, this poses a major logistical and financial challenge for the Kremlin due to heavy Western economic sanctions. However, the Ukrainian army is increasing its offensive capacity every day with advanced weapon systems provided by the West. Ukrainian Defense Ministry officials emphasize that this development is extremely important for the overall course of the war. Last summer, the Ukrainian army launched an offensive in the southwestern Russian region bordering Sumy Oblast, catching the Russian defenses off guard. At the time, Kyiv announced that it had captured about 500 square miles of territory. The withdrawal of North Korean troops from the Kursk region could create new opportunities for Ukraine and pave the way for more extensive operations in the future. The reasons behind the withdrawal of North Korean troops are still unclear. There are several critical factors among the possibilities. It raises questions about military cooperation between Russia and North Korea. Is Kim Jong-un's leadership trying to limit its support for Russia? Or is Russia planning to seek help from another ally on this front? Internationally, there are serious concerns that North Korea is providing Russia with troops and ammunition in exchange for advanced weapons technology. Seoul and Washington are deeply uncomfortable with Moscow providing Pyongyang with advanced technology to develop its nuclear program. If Russia were to provide North Korea with more sophisticated weapon systems, this could seriously alter the military balance in East Asia. The United States and European countries have imposed harsh economic sanctions and diplomatic pressure against Russia's use of foreign military assistance on the battlefield. The withdrawal of North Korean troops could be a sign that this Western policy is having an effect. However, it doesn't mean that Pyongyang has completely withdrawn from the battlefield. North Korean troops could reappear on another front or continue to support Russia in an alternative way. This latest development in the Russia-Ukraine war could be an important turning point that could affect the overall course of the war. The withdrawal of North Korean troops from the Kursk front exposes the weaknesses of the Russian army on the battlefield and could open up new strategic opportunities for Ukraine. However, the real reasons behind this withdrawal and its long-term effects are not yet fully known. How do you think Kyiv will use this advantage along with new military aid from the West? Can the Ukrainian army succeed in extending the gains on the Kursk front? Let us know in the comments. We read and care about your points of view.